Hi. Okay, so I figured this was probably going to be better to do live than to do this just by typing because I actually don't even like typing that much, and this is probably going to be easier. I am Dr. Andrews. Hi. And in response to a post that somebody wrote saying that a friend said that they're taking a class similar to this and it's a toughie and she's scared. Um, I thought this would be a good opportunity. I don't usually share this, but an opportunity to share with you all my personal philosophy on what college and university should really be. So here goes. And bear with me because I'm going to go through different spokes of the wheel and then the wheel will all kind of come together. Anyhow, um, the way your brain works is that you will only remember about 20 to 30% of anything you ever get. And the reason for that is because your brain acts like a sieve or a strainer, and during the day you're taking in all kind of information. Think about this right now: the color of my shirt, my necklace, my glasses, my eyebrows, my face, everything. If you're not looking right at me, you're going to try and remember some of what I look like. You also see a whole bunch of stuff back there, oh that way, on my desk, but you're not going to remember that. If you're with any other people, they're wearing clothes. You might not remember what they're wearing. Think back to a class you even had live with your kids in your classroom in your preschool. What was everybody wearing yesterday? You're not going to remember. And so, as a result of that, I know that you're not going to remember everything, but there are tricks to get you to remember things better. And one of those tricks is actually talking about things, discussing things, belaboring the points over and over and over. So that way, when it goes into your brain, it goes in many different ways, all over your brain, so to speak, because you're talking about it with one person in the class, you're talking about it with somebody else, and then you might go to a party and you talk about what you learned in your class and you're discussing what you learned with somebody because you don't have anything else to talk about because the other person's kind of boring. Um, and then you take a quiz, and that's another way to discuss some of the material. And hopefully, you're reading the book, and that's another way to read some of the material. And so maybe you'll get 30%. If I'm lucky, you'll get 30 to 50%, etc. And so hold on to that thought for a second. Then there's another concept, not a concept, but a fact, that your brain actually can trigger your adrenal glands to actually produce a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol is the chemical that's released in your body when you're almost cut off, or you get into a bad accident, or you have trauma of some kind. And it makes your heart rate really go fast. It also triggers the adrenaline rush. And when that stuff is flowing through your body too hot and heavy, you're actually not going to remember much of anything because it kind of prevents working memory from going into long-term memory. And that's why a lot of times when you have a traumatic event, you don't really remember a lot of what happened. So, with all of that in mind, know this: I do not want this class to be anxiety producing or stressful. Yes, I want it to be hard. I want it to be hard in a way that it's challenging because fun is fleeting, but challenge is the only way that humans grow. And you need to have a challenge in order to get from one place to the next in life. And as I'm taping this, my sound is not going with my lips. This is very disconcerting to me. Okay, hopefully this is not going to happen when I publish it. Anyhow, so, and can you notice I have ADHD? My mind goes off into all these different tangents. But the point of this is I don't want this to be stressful to the point where you can't do your work. I want it to be challenging enough where there's a little bit of stress, so that way you want to get things done. But my other goal is to make this so exciting that you're waiting, like you can't wait every day to log on to the discussion board or to see what's next week, because you're learning, and it's actually exciting what you're learning about how children develop and about the human nature and psychology. So I will challenge all of you right now that if at any point you find this course is getting boring, or I'm not living up to the standards that I've just now set for myself and for the class, kick me in the butt. Tell me that, hey, this is just not what I wanted it to be or what you said it was going to be, and I will mix it up. I don't really care for instructors who simply go through a textbook. If that's how learning is supposed to be, then just buy the textbook and do it on your own, and you don't need to pay money to sit in a class. because then all you're really paying for is a grade on a piece of paper. I don't care what your grades are. I know you all want A's, but I don't care what your grades are. I care who you are right now and who you're going to be at the end of 8 weeks as a result of the knowledge that you've gained in this class. Sorry if I'm rambling, but I feel very passionately about this. And so, to that end, we're going to have a relationship over the next 8 weeks, and hopefully this will make you feel a little bit better. Okay, have a good